the Q4FY24 Tejas Networks Limited conference call hosted by ICICI Securities. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Ashvik Jain from ICICI Securities. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Sagar. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining on Tejas Network Limited Q4 FY24 result conference call. We have Tejas Network Management on call, represented by Mr. Anand Athreya, CEO and Managing Director, Mr. Arnab Roy, Chief Operating Officer and Whole-Time Director, Mr. Sumit Dhingra, Chief Financial Officer, and Dr. Kumar N. Sivarajan, Chief Technological Officer. I would like to invite Mr. Anand sir to initiate with opening remarks, post which we will have earnings presentation and Q&A session. Over to you, sir.
Thanks, Ashwin. Welcome to Q4 FY24 Tejas earnings call. Good evening. My name is Anand Athreya. I'm the CEO and MD of Tejas Networks, and I have Arnab Roy, who is the founder and COO, Dr. Kumar Sivarajan, who is the founder and CTO, and Sumit Dhingra, who is our CFO. I'm happy to inform that Tejas had the best ever quarter and the best ever year in its history, and a profitable one too. Over the last year, Tejas has been insanely focused, and we've been executing ruthlessly on major projects such as BSNL 4G, MAN, and many other projects. What we have witnessed in this recent quarter is growth in all segments, and we have also secured the supply chain. So I'm very pleased, having completed 1 year at Tejas. I'm very pleased with the progress that you have made. And I'll hand over to Arnab Roy to go over other details. Thank you.
Thanks, Anand. I'll take you through our quarterly presentation that we have uploaded, which has 2 sections. One is the results of Q4 and giving some color and details to it, as well as a refresh of our products and technologies and the outlook for the future. So the first topic is about Q4. As Anand mentioned, we ended the year on a very strong note, a very strong revenue growth. We scaled our business to achieve profitability, and ended the year with a strong order book for execution in FY25 and beyond. So for the quarter, we had a net revenue of 1,327 crores, which is a significant jump year-over-year, and a profit after tax of 147 crores. For the year, we ended with 2,471 crores, again a strong growth from the previous year, and a PAT of 63 crores. We also ended the year with an order book of more than 8,200 crores. To add some more color to the quarter, we made a lot of progress in all fronts for both wireless and wireline business. For wireless, we shipped a lot of equipment for the 4G 5G RAN in the BSNL network. We shipped more cumulatively, more than 10,000 sites have been shipped, and the installations are progressing quite well. Apart from this, we've also engaged with several other customers for our RAN products, and as of now, we have multiple ongoing proof of concepts, POCs, with potential customers in a private and utility vertical. So we've started making business development progress beyond the immediate BSNL opportunity. We made good progress for our wireline business as well. I think one of the highlights was completing the supplies of the large volume of IP MPLS routers for BSNL's MAN network, which is the backhaul network for the 4G 5G wireless network. And this is one of the largest deployments of indigenous IP MPLS routers in India. It's close to 50,000 routers deployed in BSNL network, and we have completed supplies. and the installation, commissioning, and deployment is going on as we speak. We also had several strategic wins for our WDM and our switching routing products in the critical infrastructure sector. We entered into a strategic partnership with Telecom Egypt for our FTTX GPON equipment. It includes, apart from local manufacturing and supplies, sharing the experience of BharatNet and NKN network projects in India, and also contributing to the training and manpower development in Egypt. They are also gateway to many countries with whom they have a free trade agreement, and could be a potential gateway for supplies to many countries in Africa and Middle East. So the other highlights are the approval of our CLI application and the grant of 32 crores for the past year of FY22-23. And also, Sankhya Labs, our subsidiary, also got approved under the semiconductor DLI scheme and received the incentives as well. During Q4, Tejas and subsidiaries were granted 22 patents, and the total patent count, approved patent count of 335. A few corporate updates. We received the Voice and Data Excellence Award in the Make in India category for our carrier router portfolio, which are basically the IP and PLS products that we shipped to BSNL for the smart network. We are also starting to get recognized globally as key vendors for our products and for our wireless products in the Gartner, a very respectable industry analyst. They recognize us as a representative vendor in their Open RAN, vRAN market report. And Omdia, which is a leading analyst in the wireline space, they also recognized us in the FTTX report as an established GPON vendor in the rest of Asia and Oceania markets. Apart from that, our merger process with Sankhya is progressing well, and the resolution was approved by the equity shareholders and the unsecured creditors of the company. And after the voting that was conducted as per NCT directions, and we expect the next few steps to get completed over the next couple of quarters for formal closure of the merger. So I was, myself, Arnav Roy, was reappointed as the Executive Director and COO. Mr. Bhave, who has been a director for many years, he retired as a non-executive independent director on the completion of his tenure. And Mr. Lakshminarayan also resigned as a non-executive, non-independent director to spend time for his professional commitments. So colored on the revenue profile for FY24, which is on the right-hand side. As you can see, the Indian government was 36% of the overall business. Indian private was 64%. India government was 36%, and international was 10% of our revenues. And this is an area where we are focusing a lot in terms of growth for our international business. And I'd like to definitely remind you that the shipments that are happening for BSNL 4G are being categorized as international private, India private, because our immediate customer is TCS, which is a private entity. And just to reiterate, we had a strong closing backlog of 8,200 crores, of which substantial part was India at 7,900 crores, and the international was 262 crores. I'll now hand you over to our CFO, Sumit, to give some details about the financials.
Good evening, everyone. From financial perspective, we had a revenue of 1,327 crores for the quarter. It was a growth of 343% over the previous year, same quarter. EBIT of 248 crores and PAT of 147 crores. This implied an EPS of 8.6. From a full year perspective, aggregate consolidated revenue was 2,471 crores and EBIT of 83 crores and PAT of 63 crores with an EPS of 3.79. So from a both on a quarter-on-quarter perspective and on year-on-year perspective, we had strong growth this quarter. Some of the other key financial indicators, if you look at net worth of about 3,150 crores, inventory of 3,700 crores, is a decrease compared to the previous quarter, which was around 2,680 crores. Predominantly because we are, as mentioned in the previous call as well, we are securing long lead items for expedited delivery of some of the projects, including the BSNL 4G project. And as we go along, as the project continues to get executed, inventory will get absorbed. Trade receivables stand at around 1,458 crores at the end of the year. This is partly also linked to the revenues that we've done during the quarter. We had collections over 650 crores this quarter. Working capital increased to about 1519 crores. Again, driven main by inventory and receivables. Our cash position at the end of the year was 641 crores and working capital borrowings of 1,744 crores, which is essentially all for working capital.
Okay, thanks, Sumit. So as a recap of what happened in FY24, FY24 has been a milestone year for us. We had a significant growth in revenue and turn to profitability starting with Q4. We had growth in all product segments, led by wireless and all the different product segments in wireline as well. We had a successful entry into two new large product technology segments with high growth, the 4G 5G RAN and the service provider switching routing market. And we entered this market with large projects in hand, which we are executing successfully. We are executing the largest ever network built in India with indigenous technology in 4G 5G RAN, routers, as well as satellite transponders, which we talked about last quarter for the details project that is getting executed by Panchal. We demonstrated our ability to scale manufacturing by executing shipments in record time. We finished the March shipment of 50,000 routers in literally 2 months. And we made significant investments for enabling future growth. We grew our headcount by 42%, mainly in R&D, manufacturing, sales, and support. We expanded our facilities for supporting our growth in R&D and manufacturing operations. And we also made major capital investments in R&D and manufacturing. And we have been talking about this over the last couple of quarters as well. So I'll quickly switch on to a little bit of a refresh of our business. As you know, we make end-to-end products for building telecom networks. And we have an entire range of products, starting with, on the left-hand side, the wireless and wireline access in the wireless 4G, 5G radios, and wireline access in the GPON, XGS-PON equipment, and also Ethernet and IP and TLS customer premise equipment for enterprise and enterprise services. We also have the metro aggregation products, which is in the middle of the slides, the middle section of the slides, with multiple technologies within the metro aggregation network. And then we have the metro core and long haul products using DWDM and OTN technologies. And all of these managed by a single network management solution. So this kind of gives us a unique advantage of being able to build complete end-to-end networks for any customer. So that's where we are today as our products. And the key applications that we serve are the 4 key applications. One is the mobile RAN, the 4G 5G mobile RAN network, and the backhaul network. That's the big project that we are associated with right now. Our equipment is used for doing wholesale and enterprise data services. A big section of our business is home and business broadband, where we are deployed in ISPs, several ISPs globally, and also networks for critical network infrastructure, such as the utilities, power, rail, oil and gas. where our equipment is used to build their critical networks for not for the captive networks, for their SCADA applications, and also for their wholesale network bandwidth business. So our products are targeted towards very high growth market segments in wireless and wireline. And on the left-hand side, you'll see the addressable markets for the RAN and core, which is growing significantly, large market, growing significantly over the next 5 years. And also on the right-hand side, you can the wireline market. These are our addressable markets, which has even stronger growth. And all in all the segments that we are in are seeing strong growth globally, both in India as well as in global markets. So looking forward to the future, beyond the overall market growth, we are looking at several high-scale opportunities, both in India as well as internationally. In India, we have the visibility of several large projects, which are one part of it is, of course, the BSNL 4G, 5G continued investment. There are going to be more investments in 4G saturation network for the pan-India 5G networks and for their backhaul expansion. For the private telcos, we anticipate a lot more capex spending happening for their 4G, 5G networks, and also similarly for the short-haul networks for the mobile applications. We all know about the BharatNet Phase 3 project. The initial specification and tender documents have come out, and it's in the process of getting finalized. And just the capex that we see, which is being asked for, is more than $500 million. That's the initial estimate, and it's going to be more than that. And the other part is that the broadband rollout in India continue with full steam, and we see the plans of all the private operators at the highest speed, where more than $600 million of investments are planned over the next few quarters. So these are summary of some of the significant projects and opportunities that we see which are addressed by the product portfolio that we have. Similarly, globally, there are huge investments going out in broadband equipment, where more than $100 billion are getting spent in the US and Europe, as you know, the BEAD projects and the others in Europe, which is actually bridging the digital divide in the different countries by expanding their rural broadband network, and a huge investment is going over there, which are addressable by our products. There is a large replacement market of high-risk equipment in the EU and the US, and more than $5 billion have been assigned for that market. In some of the emerging economies in Africa and Asia, we see a lot of investments which are planned for the expanding 4G, 5G networks, which are basically where the deployment is initially starting right now and peaking at this time, and we see that as an opportunity to grow in this market. And a lot of investments are actually planned for utility modernization. The actual budget is higher, but we see more than $8 billion of addressable market for helping transition utility networks from the traditional phonic-based equipment to IP-based networks, and that's one of the technologies that we are very strong in. So, let's say in summary, I give you a picture of FY24 and our outlook for the next few years and our continued investments. I'll stop over here and we'll open up the floor to Q&A.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone phone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets only while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Sohan Joshi from ASC Consultants. Please go ahead.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Sohan.
Congratulations for these numbers. So this backlog order of 8,200 crore doesn't cover the 5G order side, right? It's just for the 4G coverage of 1 lakh sites, right?
That's correct. It just covers our existing backlog using 4G and other wireline the order book that we have. It doesn't cover 5G upgrades.
Okay. But my second question is, this system on chip IP design regarding the semiconductor developed by the Shankhya, I presume it will be captively consumed for first by a 5G wireless equipment, and then we'll market it for outside market, right?
So the current SoCs are actually getting used, one of their chips for their satellite transponder products, which has been designed using the semiconductor. The newer chips that we are designing, we will evolve our products subsequently when the products are ready. But our current 5G products are not held up by that, because our current generation products are getting designed and will get launched this year. And when their semiconductors gets ready, at the time we will look at optimizing their equipment at that point of time.
Okay, sir. That's it from my end. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Santosh Sinha from MK Global. Please go ahead.
Thanks for taking my question. My question is regarding the BSNL project. So what exactly is the timeline for this project? Is the whole of many portion will be executed in FY25 alone, or will they be over to FY26 as well? Is there resource related to BSNL as well? Because we were reading...
Mr. Sinha, your line is breaking up. Can you please see your cell phone reception?
Yes. So my question is regarding this BSNL project. So we were reading about some news articles that there has been concern regarding delays in the project, and BSNL is also looking for help from other vendors as such. So do you want to comment on that? And what kind of and last question is, what kind of margins do we expect in the long run?
Okay. So we have asked 3 questions, Santosh. So first thing is BSNL supplies. Yeah, I think we expect to finish our supplies in this financial year, in the FY25 itself, right? And a significant, most part of the network will also get deployed and commissioned during that time. So there's the answer to the first question. Second question was about news reports that have come up, and just to reiterate what that report really meant, which is the subsequent clarification that came. See, the RAN equipment is actually getting deployed all across the country right now in different zones, right? North and then west, and other zones also started right now. But what has happened is the core has been deployed in few of the zones, not in all of them. So wherever our RAN is getting deployed and installed, at that time, whenever the C.core is not there, the equipment is getting integrated to the existing core. So when the C.core gets deployed in those circles, in those zones, they will get parented to the C.core as well. So this is just a temporary situation where the RAN is deployed, and in that zone the core is not available. So it is getting integrated with the existing core in the network. So that is all that the report has meant. Okay. Your third question was about margins. Yeah. So, as you've seen, our margins have, actually grown over the last quarter. And, going forward, it will be, we don't comment on how the, margins are going to look like, but, as a combination of our wireless and wireline equipment, we keep saying that our long-term goal is that, as you've seen our historical margins that we had in the company, over time will be going in that direction and achieving those kind of numbers in terms of margins and financial results.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. Just two more questions. After that, I will follow with you. One is regarding international. So what kind of headway we are seeing on international front? Because ultimately, now FY26 we will have to grow on the international side. So what kind of are we seeing any new interactions or interest from the clients? And second is regarding BharatNet. So what is the update there, and where can we see actually the revenue coming from BharatNet?
Not sure we could follow your questions because the line was not so good. I think your question was, I understand, was international business. I mean, what kind of opportunities we see and or do we see in BharatNet? If you recall the last slide that I presented on the immediate and in the upcoming opportunities in international market. Yes, I mean, we are increasing our focus on investments in international markets, and all the we've kind of given you a big picture of the opportunities that we're looking at, both in the US and Europe, as well as the kind of opportunities in utilities as well as the emerging markets. And there are several projects and opportunities we are currently engaged in these markets without giving a lot of details. But that's going to be a focus area for us. That's going to be where our investments are also going to happen in the next few quarters. So that's internationally. As far as BharatNet is concerned, as you know, the project is already announced. A lot of the technical documents and tender documents are out. But right now, the questions and clarifications are going on with that tender. And we expect that sometime during the year, the tender will be paid and completed and so on. And a lot of the active equipment over there is for IP/MPLS routers, the kind that we have and that we have shipped to BSNL, and also for the FTTX equipment or GPON equipment, ONTs and ONTs. So we are well covered in terms of products for the opportunities in BharatNet, in the upcoming BharatNet tenders. I hope I have answered your question.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Deep Mehta from Bank of India Mutual Fund. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Thank you for the opportunity and congratulations for a very robust set of execution which you have done for this quarter. I just have one question. This quarter we have seen significant stretching of our working capital cycle. How should we look at this number as we ramp up our orders, and what can we steady state working capital cycle, if you can comment on that? Thank you.
Yeah, I'll let Sumit take your question. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So, as we commented earlier, the working capital currently needs to be looked at in context of the BSNL 4G project. We're in the midst of executing this large project, which is 7,700 crores worth of value over the next 2 quarters. Now, a lot of working capital build-up is in context or in preparation for execution of that project. Now, as we go along over the next couple of quarters, you'll see eventually the working capital tapering down as the execution progresses.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Ashish from JM Mutual Funds. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. So in terms of our RANs, if you could highlight the competitive scenario in the Indian market. We understand there are international players also selling similar radios. Is there a cost advantage for private telcos? So basically, are our products cost competitive? And if you could also highlight whether there is a difference in technology stack for 4G and 5G RAN between us and those guys.
Yeah. See, we have bid and won in this in the large BSNL network, and BSNL has ensured that they get the most competitive prices which are available in the market. So you can be rest assured that the products that we have designed and that we're selling are extremely competitive as far as the global operators go. So that's one part from a cost competitiveness. The other part you said about technological differentiators. Yes, any product that we make are always made with several technological differentiators, and I'll let Kumar, our CTO, talk about that.
One of the important differentiators we have is that we integrate optical transport into the wireless, which almost no one else is doing in the industry, and that's the key differentiator. We also have the ability to integrate other forms of optical access into the same product, what we call universal converged broadband. So that's important.
Yeah, so that this integration actually helps bring down the total cost of ownership of the wireless operators by doing multiple technology integration into our RAN equipment. So they save a lot of money in buying and building the backhaul equipment, and as well as it gives them a platform for launching other services apart from the mobile services, which is like help them address all the the home and the enterprise broadband opportunities in and around the area where they are installed. So this is one of the key differentiators, and customer really appreciates this and is leveraging this technological advantage as well.
Yeah, this is helpful. Secondly, on these private telcos, so apart from BSNL, obviously, as far as the private telcos are concerned, is there an opportunity for us? Obviously, you have mentioned on the slide that more than $3 billion of capex will be rolled out. In terms of opportunity size, and are we in discussion with some of the bigger private telcos as far as these radios are concerned?
So as I mentioned in the earlier slides, that we are actually engaged in a few opportunities from the telcos and some of the critical infrastructure sector. And as we speak, without to name them, we are into multiple POCs where our radios are actually deployed and undergoing trials. So yes, even beyond this, there are multiple opportunities where we have started engaging with other customers, and they are all in India, and we hope to actually line up some opportunities internationally as well.
Okay, fair enough. So, and lastly, do we have sufficient manufacturing capacity on our side? And to that extent, would you say that the borrowings would not increase from current levels or would stay at current levels?
So, of course, the manufacturing capacity has been built, and that's where the investments have been happening over the last 2 quarters. And now we have established a scale where we can execute a project of this size within the timelines that are expected, and these are very aggressive, right? So we have to invest in that kind of manufacturing capacity. So that is there. And I think your question was about the working capital going forward. See, a lot of the working capital, so one part is the investment in manufacturing for scaling it up, but a lot of the working capital is in procurement of components which go into these manufacturing lines, and that is a temporary phenomena for executing these large projects where they have full inventory, they're getting converted into the finished products, and they will get shipped out. And that's where, and we are getting our collections in as well, and that's where the working capital cycle will go through and go down over time.
Yeah, this is very helpful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Pavnish from Hridaya Cars. Please go ahead.
Sir, good evening. Thank you for giving me an opportunity. Am I audible?
Yes, you are, Pavnish.
Yes. Sir, I just wanted to make a request that if we could release our results a bit early, because today the conference call was scheduled at 7 and results were declared at 7:10. So didn't get much time to, analyze the presentation and ask the question. Otherwise, my questions have mostly been covered by other analysts. Just this request.
Sure. Yeah, this was a first for us, but yes, definitely we'll do it ahead of time.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Pratap Maliwal from Mount Intra Finance. Please go ahead.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Pratap, you're audible.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for taking my questions and congrats on a great set of numbers. So just wanted to confirm that I was seeing in the presentation that we've cumulatively shipped equipment for about 10,000 plus sites on the wireless business. So just to confirm, the overall order was for about 100,000 sites. So we'll be executing the remaining 90 in the next 3 or 4 quarters going ahead. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. And just one more thing, we've had an improvement in profitability as well this quarter. So last quarter we had seen that the low margin parts of the network equipment were deployed more, and that had consequently affected our profitability a little bit. So has that actually been compensated for this quarter? And going ahead, can we expect this improvement to sustain now that the low margin parts are out?
So, yeah, your observation is right. I mean, we mentioned that last quarter, and that's correct. I think this quarter we shipped the components of products which have not a higher margin, and that's what is showing in our overall margins kind of a thing. So going forward, I think, the blended margin, as I said, we don't comment on future margins kind of thing, but you can see the trend out there. And as you said, our margins are a blend of wireless and wireline products. So yeah, the trajectory is there, and it will depend on the combination of products that we ship.
Okay, so we do expect to hopefully maintain the improvement going forward as well?
We don't give guidance on that.
Okay, sure. Thank you for taking my questions, and congrats on a great set of numbers again.
Thank you for that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Hiren Kumar Thakural Desai, who's an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah. I have just one question. Do we have an estimate of what PLI incentives we may receive for FY25?
The PLI estimates for the year are dependent on the revenues that we do for the year. For FY25, since we don't give any guidance on the revenue, it will be difficult to give you that estimate.
Okay. Can you provide some percentage of revenue as a incentive that is there? I mean, what is the percentage number?
The policy states that the PLI would be between 5 to 6% of the manufacturing revenue, which is incremental revenue over the base year. So for every year, whatever is the manufacturing revenue less the revenue for the base year, on that number you get let's say 6% kind of PLI.
Okay, thank you. That answers my question.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Prathamesh Diwar from Tiger Assets. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Firstly, sir, congrats for your great set of numbers. So just, I was having this one question. How are we looking at a strategic partnership with Valiant Communication? Are we looking at any acquisition which will help us doing any backward integration? Like,
with Valiant Technologies, we have a very strong partnership going over many years. They are our key partners for our utility markets. Their teleprotection technology gets integrated with our transmission products to provide a very optimized solution to our utility and critical infrastructure customers. So that partner, is a little bit of an orthogonal set of products between both companies, but they work very well together to address this market. And this is going to continue, right? We are looking at opportunities together in markets not only in India but globally. But that's how it would continue.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. That's it from my side.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Gurvinder Juneja from Fortuna Investment Advisors. Please go ahead.
Hi. Thank you, sir, for taking my question. I have my first question is about getting some clarity on this proof of concept you're doing on the utility side. What does that mean? Is that including any work with Valiant? And second question is, I probably misunderstood or didn't understand the split of revenue you gave between India government and India private. what gets classified as India government revenue and what gets classified as India private? I just wanted some clarification. I missed that piece.
Yeah. So first of all, the POCs that we are doing is on our wireless equipment, on our 4G, 5G RAN equipment. And this is not including variants. This is purely applications in wireless. Your second, so these are multiple networks where they are getting tried out as we speak for potential deployment. The second question is about India government and all. As you know, we split our revenue, revenue in terms of three sectors. One is the Indian government, which is mainly the public sector companies, the operators, the utility companies, BBNL, BSNL, and so on. And then the Indian private, which are the telcos, the private telcos and ISPs in India, which is India private. And the third part is the international customers. So the clarification we gave was in India private in the last few quarters, our shipment to BSNL 4G is categorized as India private because they are actually our immediate customer is TCS and not BSNL. And we look at our immediate customers who we are shipping to kind of classify this is the business segment. So we want to make sure that we understand that the India private numbers that we are showing, reporting, that includes the BSNL 4G 5G shipments.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Harshit from Wallfort PMS. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Thank you for taking my question. Just wanted to get a sense on the kind of order book build-up that we can have going forward. Could you give some sense on that?
We don't give guidance on future business. You have the order book and a kind of painted color of the opportunities in front of us, both in India as well as internationally. So I think that's the best that we can do, right? Talk about our products, talk about our current order book, and talk about the markets for these products and the immediate large opportunities that we see in front of us. I think that's the best we can do.
So globally, sir, the kind of business that we do globally, how many competitors would be there, comparable competitors, if you can just put that kind of a number?
Well, if you look at it in India, all the global vendors and our global competitors are actually do business in India, right? I mean, all the names that you know of. So internationally also, so we compete against them in India, and it's the same set of vendors that we compete against in the rest of the world. So there's no difference. I think it's the same competitive environment that you see in India that you see internationally.
And so would you like to share how many tenders have we filled in, or what is the win ratio or something like that? Is that possible?
Yeah, I think those are far more details for business, which unfortunately we cannot share, but I think bidding happens, keeps happening all the time, and we win some, we lose some kind of thing, but those are numbers that we really don't share in terms of how many bids and the win ratios and all this kind of thing. I mean, that's really confidential information in the company.
Okay, sir. Not a problem. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for taking my question.
Thank you. Our next follow-up question is from the line of Hiren Kumar Thakurlal Desai, who's an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, one more question was just regarding the inventory part of it, or you may just say the entire inventory cycle. The fact that we are dealing with TCS in a way, do we have a sort of better estimate or better certainty in terms of how long that cycle will be? I mean, what is the inventory turnover that we need to maintain, especially for BSNL business?
Okay. See, as I mentioned, this project is a 7,700 crore worth of project. The execution in terms of number of sites is at 10,000 sites as against 1 lakh sites. So it's about 90% yet to be executed. And from a lead time procurement perspective, done some advanced procurement to be able to ship these products in time. Now, purely from that perspective, if you see the order size versus the inventory, we have inventory for the next few months of delivery. We've not fully yet procured all the inventory for the project, but a significant part of it is in place, and it helps us have that assurance with respect to being able to deliver. On an overall basis, the operating cycle is less than 12 months from a working capital standpoint, but that would essentially, as we go along, it would ease off.
So here, I think the inventory is basically the time cycle between the time we procure the components and we actually manufacture them and ship them out. So it's really not connected to TCS. It's connected to the cycle of manufacture and shipment to the warehouse, to TCS and BSNL warehouses.
No, I understand. I mean, I'm assuming the context that, payment from TCS will be fairly predictable.
Yeah.
So in that context. So
payment wouldn't depend on, the inventory levels wouldn't depend on the payments. That is something that we have essentially what we procure from our vendors, and against that we would have payables in the books. And as we go along, as we ship and deliver the sites to TCS, then the payment cycle starts.
Yeah, you just mentioned that we have built inventory for few months. Can you quantify few months?
See, when I say few months, I was referring in context of the BSNL project execution.
Yeah, that's what my question is.
Over the next 2 to 3 quarters is what we're looking to execute this project, and the inventory that we have is a proportion of what we really need to execute that. There are some advanced actions that we've taken. So this inventory would let's say peak up a little bit from here, and thereafter, as the execution progresses, we would progressively see it coming down.
Okay, in that case, are you in a position to specify? Okay, not exact, but some ballpark number as to at what level will it peak?
It's difficult to give any guidance on what level would it be. Maybe next 3 to 4 months is where you would see this peaking up and then possibly coming down. But as I said, it depends on the pace of execution for the project.
Okay, fine. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. We will take our last question from the line of Sohan Joshi from ASC Consultants. Please go ahead.
Thanks a lot, sir, for taking my follow-up question. Just want to understand when will be the PO of the 5G sites will be out? Will it be out by this year only, or first the entire execution is completed, then the PO will be out for the 5G sites?
Yeah. So the PO, see, it's not, we don't wait for the entire project to get over. We'll be doing a POC for this 5G upgrade in the next few months, and once that POC is completed, I think we expect to get the 5G upgrade business, obviously.
Okay, so that will be for the 40% sites of the existing 1 lakh sites, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so the current order book doesn't contain that 40% of the upgradation, right?
That's correct. It does not contain.
Okay, and then the maintenance will be PO will be out, which is for the next 7 years, post 3 years.
That's correct.
Yep. Okay. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot. Thank you, sir. And wish you good luck for the upcoming quarter.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we would take that as a last question for today. I would now like to hand the conference over to Mr. Anand Athreya, sir, for closing comments.
Thank you. As the FY24 closes, first I would like to thank our employees, customers, board members, investors, and stockholders for your continued support. This has been a record year for us, and we will continue to stay focused and execute month over month and quarter over quarter to put Tejas on a world map. Again, wish you all the best, and thank you very much.
Thank you. On behalf of ICICI Securities, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us. You may now disconnect your lines.